to comment, like, and subscribe. Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, you're gonna see the struggle I had to put my Bogart wheels on the twin turbo Fox. So, hope you enjoy. It's gonna have a little bit of everything in this video, a little bit of content of different things, but we're on track to get the motor back soon and get it in the car, ready to go. Should be pretty powerful. And as we're doing that, I'm getting it to sit right on the wheels and tires that should be on this car. So stay tuned, let me know what you think about the project and if you like some of the stuff that I'm doing to it. Talk to you soon. All right, so this will be video 3 for the TTFox. And now I've got a lube locker rear cover, differential cover gasket, you can call it there, if you can read that. That's the part number. It is a F880 for Ford 8.8 axles, it goes like that. And also got a rear cover that actually can press against the back of the differential, the bolts that hold it in, and gives a little extra support. You know, right now this thing has a stock cover on it. Again, this car is ridiculous for what it does with the minimal amount of parts on it. So what I'm gonna do before I put all this in, I'm gonna take these out and seal these with some pipe thread. Leave that one not sealed because that's how I'll fill the fluid. I also have my fluid, 75-140 I'm gonna run in here, synthetic. And yeah, so I have to pull the axles out to change the studs. I'm waiting on Strange to send me the studs. They're on their way. Get rid of these big 5/8 and go to a 1/2-20. Luckily, the end of the axle is already drilled, so I can just unscrew these and screw them in. This has C-clip eliminators, so that means I've got to unbolt it from out here to slide the axle out. I need that room so I can actually get the bolts past the C-clip eliminator. So I'm going to get that out, and I'm going to take this cover off and put the new cover on. So something quick, you know, just little stuff, putting my touch on it. Oh, speaking of that, so I cleaned off all the old stickers he had. I left his cause nostalgia, and I put mine on it, and I also put one of my vanity plates that I've got. I think looks really cool with the black like that. And I got a brand new Ford emblem with the black background instead of blue, just to fill in that because it didn't have an emblem, had the holes there. But it's coming along. So you already know I'm going to have the windows tinted, and they're gonna be just as black as I can get them, probably 5 or 10% on the sides and the back, because, you know, race car, don't need to worry about all that stuff. So yeah, this thing is gonna be awesome. I've decided not to put the air conditioning on it. I'm gonna have the heat working on it because we need heat, you know, but race car stuff, we're gonna keep it light. That way the condenser and all that he's got out now, it'll just stay out. And yeah, since you saw the last video, pulled the motor, figured out that the pistons were hitting the heads, so I've got to get the heads fixed. That's coming up soon. But right now it's just working on the rest of the car while it's sitting here, getting it ready, so I can put my Bogart wheels on it, get it on the ground, and I'll be able to switch between my 28x10 Bogart slicks, or Bogart wheels with slicks, Hoosier slicks, or my 15-inch wheels here. These are 275 60x15 Pro radials, so I can switch between those wheels and those other wheels depending on what the car likes, because the car may like the slick, it may like the Pro radial. Either way, we're gonna have some options. We're gonna make this thing dig. It's gonna get down. Stay tuned, I'm excited. All right, so I got my new cover here. I pulled the bottom drain plug out. I'm about to put some thread sealer on it and put it back in, because I won't need to drain it, because once I take the original cover off, it will be drained. So the trick is you have your little Allen head adapter there like that, and you just liberally apply. Maybe. Here we go. And then we just install it like this. Then I'll tighten that down and we'll be ready. Again, I'll do that once I get the fluid in it, but for now I'm gonna leave that not done, because once the cover's on with this lube locker gasket I'm flattening out here, then you fill the fluid in from the top, which is easy with these bottles. You just pull that off, cut a hole on it, and then squeeze it, goes right in. All right, so today I'm gonna put the rear cover on. I've got it prepped as you saw earlier. I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna start taking the stock bolts out. Apparently at some point, one bolt got swapped out for something else, so we'll see if that affects anything. But I'll go ahead and pull the bolts out, and basically you'll leave one or two up here kind of loose. Pop this off and let the fluid drain out so you don't make a big mess, and then you can pull the cover all the way off. I'll clean it out before I put the cover and new fluid on. I'm actually gonna go ahead and pull the axles out because I got studs coming, and the only way to get the studs out, you gotta pull the axle out to give you room. And to do that, it has C-clip eliminators, so they're bolted on here, so I'll have to unbolt those. Then you pull the whole axle out so I can actually change the stud. So a little bit of rear end work. Crazy. All right, so while we're in here, just to show you, that is a 273 gear. So it's crazy, but that's it. 273 gear. You can see how big the pinion sprocket is. It's huge, right, compared to the ring gear. So eventually I'd like to change that to something else. He barely gets in the second gear good in the 8th mile. And I know it probably helps the car hook and everything, but the mile per hour is low for this. 126 in the 8th at a 540, 550 seems a little low to me for a twin turbo car. So I feel like if it had a little bit more gear, it could get up a little faster, and it'd probably pick up a little bit of mile per hour. Normally with a turbo car, you have less gear and it has more mile per hour, but in this one, I think it's so low of a gear, number wise, that it just takes a long time to turn up, and you shift the car at 7,200, so you can imagine, you know. But either way, I'll run it like it is now. I'm not going to change it, but eventually I might step up to 308 or 315 maybe. Nothing too drastic, but just a little bit, you know, so we don't upset how the car leaves. But anyway, here's where we are. I don't know what silicone he had, but it was like concrete trying to get that off, and when I finally got it broke loose, I could pull it off. So either way, that's why I've got this lube blocker gasket. If I ever want to take the cover off later, I can and reuse it. I don't have to use silicone. Just a modern way of doing it. All right, so it's all cleaned off. Finally, I take just a flat razor and straight in like this. You can get off any residual and then spray it with brake clean and then wipe it all off, and then you're good to go. So basically you get your bolt supplied in the little washer, and you get one end to hold it, and then you put your next one in just to straighten the gasket out. So we'll get that up like this. Go ahead and put one down here in the bottom, like so. A little Allen head. This is a 7/32. And don't really run them down snug yet, just get them in there so it won't fall, so you can get all your bolts in first, because these little washers, they've got to fit inside the hole, so if it's too tight, it may not fit. So I'll go ahead and run these in and then show you the next step. Let's do these at like 10 to get started. All right, now that's done, we'll do some final torque. Let me double check what that should be with this cover. The stock cover is 20 to 25. Let's see what this cover takes. It's 20 to 25 foot-pounds. I'm gonna do 20, just because I'm not using silicone, I'm using the lube blocker gasket. So we'll do 20, and then I'll show you how to adjust these girdle bolts and adapters here and what they're supposed to be torqued to. You need some oil resistant, I'll use ultra black silicone. You want to put right in here on the threads, normally about a third of the way down from the end. So when you run these down, you won't have any leaks. We don't have any pesky leaks working their way around right here. So liberally apply some of this around here. Run these down, 5 pounds of torque, which is kind of like firm with your wrench. And then when you tighten the jam nut on top of it, you want to hold the center of it here and then turn this and tighten it, you know, snug or 10 pounds of torque, whatever floats your boat. What I normally do is snug it up, put all this on here, and then should be good to go. All right, so now we're gonna do the load bolts, which are these. And if I didn't tell you before, make sure you've got these loose when you put your cover on so you're not pushing against yourself. So mine were loose, so here I can turn them in and out. So basically you turn the jam nut out, you take your Allen wrench, you run these down, say, till it stops, both sides. Okay, put a little tension on it, like that. And these are not very high torque. They're like between 5 and 10 pounds of torque. So I'm gonna do between 8 and 10 and no more than 10. So once you get that done, then you hold it with your wrench and then you tighten the outer down, and they should be like 20 to 25 pounds of torque, and you should be good to go. That's all it is to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now, and then we'll be done, ready to put fluid in it. Hey, what's up YouTube? So today I'm working on the twin turbo Fox here, and I was pulling out the axles so I could change these huge 5/8 inch studs out so I can go to half 20. So I had to pull them out just so I can get my studs out because there wasn't enough room. But I pulled it out and I started looking at it, and let me put this in the light. Do you see a problem here? They've been twisted. 35 spline strange race axles. This is supposed to be the baddest. Like, this is supposed to keep you from having problems. Not only has he twisted these before, let me lay this down, but if you look at those studs, they are like Waffle House teeth at 3 in the morning. You know, they are not straight. So, and those are 5/8 studs. So he's twisting these studs. He's twisting the splines on this 35 spline axle. That's just crazy. That's unbelievable. Show you a little trick. Come in here and disassemble your drum brakes if you got them. And then you take off the nuts that hold on the studs here from the C-clip eliminator. And now you can't really pull this off. So a trick I've seen on Hot Rod Garage is you actually take your drum, put it on here backwards like this, put your lug nuts on it, and then that gives you something to yank and it'll come right off. There it is. This side of the here. And these splines are actually okay. They've got just a little bit of twist, but not as bad as the driver's side, but it is a noticeable, little bit of noticeable twist, but not as bad. But that's okay, because typically the driver's side gets more torque. And just cause you know me, I like to take the C-clip eliminator apart. What this is a bearing is pressed onto your axle with this collar, locks it in place. And you have a bottom piece here and a top piece. You can tell the tapered sides where the bearing rides. Basically you put this on, you drop that down into place like this, tighten these down, and then it retains this, and this slides into the housing and holds the axle into the car. So the reason for this is most axles have a C-clip up here, so if the axle were to break and the C-clips here are holding it, the whole axle come out of the car. This way, no matter what happens, if the axle breaks, it's not coming out of the car. Check it out. Got my brand new axle in today, 35 spline, new gaskets, C-clip eliminator installed, but I've got to put some silicone on it like you saw me do before and put these in. Okay, let's get to it. Strange, these are 1/2 by 20 studs. And before you can put them in, you gotta put this little flat washer they give you on it. And one thing I recommend, some blue Loctite right here at the back where it goes actually through. You don't need it down here, you just need it up here on this part, and that will make sure that stays tight when you're putting your lugs off and on. Just cheap insurance to go with it. Success. What do you think about that? I think it looks fantastic and fits like a glove. Look at that from the side. That's what I'm talking about. It's a 28 by 10 Hoosier Slick on a 16 by 9 inch wheel, because this is what I had on my 0304 Cobra and my Mach 1, but it fits for IRS cars. Back in the day, you do a 16 inch fit, clear your brake calipers, but the 9 inch wheel on the Foxbody is absolutely perfect. If you see here with the 28 tall tire, that fits like a glove. You can run a 10, but I just don't like the way they stick out from the side. So I do have my 275 60s over there to fit it. Unfortunately, those are 15 by 10, so it's gonna be really fat. I just don't think they'll look as good on it. But I gotta get a different wheel because they don't make any more 16 inch tires other than the 2810 Hoosier that I can run. Not for the track, like a Mickey Thompson, they don't make anything. Hoosier has like a QuickTime Pro I could probably get for it. But in reality, might as well just run the Slick. But there you go. Success. Waiting on the other axle so I can put the other wheel on. But that's the whole look I've been going for. My Bogart RT wheels on this coupe. Awesome. All right, so it is 21 degrees today. It's pretty cold. Expecting a cold front this weekend, but for now, here's what's happening here. I got the LS motor all loaded up and gonna take it down to a shop I found to get the motor checked out and the heads as well. This is my new radiator beside the old one. I've got to mount my trans cooler the way he had it, so I'll get that mounted. And this is the car, just patiently waiting for the motor to go back in it. So I'm gonna take you down to the new speed shop I found called Redline. They're out of Fayetteville, and not only do they repair heads, they put motors together. So I'm gonna show them the issue with the piston hitting the head. I'm gonna show them the head, see if they think they can fix somewhere to hold up, and then we'll make some decisions about getting this thing fixed up. So, you know, buy once, cry once is kind of what they say. So let's fix it the right way so I don't have to worry about it. All right, I'm just now leaving Redline. You see behind me the motor's on the stand. This is their shop right here on the right when you pull in the driveway. Give you a quick view there. They're out here in Fayetteville. They do a lot of high performance builds and all. So the guy was pretty confident. He said, man, your head's not really that bad. I can fix that, that's nothing. So I was like, oh, cool, great. So he's gonna fix my heads. They're gonna take the motor apart, check the deck on the block, make sure all that is, you know, nice and flat. And he's gonna massage the piston dome where it was hitting the head instead of modifying the head, and let me know. So they said it'll be a couple weeks before he gets it tore down and checked back with me, but at least now I feel confident that we'll have what we need to get this motor straightened out.